Hello, everybody. This is Bill McRea. I hope you're doing fine. Um, Got to be honest with you, I feel like dog do. I woke up the other day and doctor, my wife took me to the what do they call those places? The emergency center. It's not anyway. Turns out I have COVID. Third time. Been vaxxed. Vaccine's a joke. They gave me medication called Plaxovid, and Plaxovid works really well. My Plaxovid works very well um, because within 24 hours, the brain is cleared. I'm able to think clearly. My cough is minimal, and my fever's gone. So I just went in to the doctor and said, I'm not feeling really good. I'm a little, uh, I haven't slept in 3 days, and I got a headache, and my throat's bad. And of course, they swab you up and say they call you, and then they call you and say you got COVID. Send someone to the pharmacy to pick up your meds, which my wife did on the way home from her work. And lo and behold, last night I take my first dose of Paxlovid. I hadn't slept in 2 days, so I told my wife, it was like 5:30. I said, I'm going to lay down. And if uh, you come in and I look like I'm dead, check my pulse. And I slept until 7 o'clock this morning, so I've been like 14 hours of sleep, I guess. It was really appreciated, and I feel better. My headache is gone. The fever has quit. I don't have the chills anymore. So this morning I was happy to take my next dose of Paxlovid, and then I got to take it for 5 days. And it's one of those things where you want to make sure you take the entire regimen. A lot of times, when I was a kid, I'd start taking my antibiotics because every time you had a sore throat, they give you antibiotics. Yeah, after 3 days, you felt good, you quit taking them, which is stupid because in 2 weeks later, you'd be sick again. So, you grow up and you get wiser, and I'll take the complete 5-day regimen of this stuff, and hopefully uh, it's just not a big deal anymore, really, if you catch it early. So here's the education for today. Sore throat, fever, go to your local urgent care facility, and $50, get in there. Doctor sticks stuff up your nose. They don't even go down to your brain anymore. They swab the outside of your nose. They send you home. Then they call the pharmacy, and you either go pick it up yourself and get people sick, or you have your spouse go get it, or a friend. And then you're able to take those drugs, and they start making you feel better right away. It's amazing. Paxlovid is a drug that basically it's got his own little strand of RNA, mRNA, I guess, and it gets into the cell where the virus strand is. The virus is looking for something to mate with, so it can kill the cell, which is stupid, but that's what it does. It mates with the Paxlovid mRNA, and it gets lucky, but it doesn't make any more babies. So it kills it before it has a chance to grow and expand and get uh, become bad. So I gotta pull a blanket up around my legs. And of course, we're in Texas, so it's like South Texas. It's like 10 degrees out right now. No, not really. It's warmed up into the 40s. But last week we were burr cold. But it did give me a chance to do some studying things. And I like to bring you real world things. I don't like sending you off in tangents of lots of different things you're trying to do, and uh, and you can't because there's too many things going on. Of course, I have my AI social poster. You should become a member of that right away. It's a great program. But there's so much going on in AI right now. So many new development stuff that's happening. It's really difficult to really understand what's going on. So I thought I'd try to catch up a little bit. Uh, some of the announcements in the last week. Uh, Chat GPT 4.5, not available yet, but it's been announced. It's supposed to be spectacular capabilities over its predecessor, um, especially when it comes to writing, language, skills, and images, which is what we're most interested. All of our tools are driving off of 4.0 right now. So we'll have to take a look at the cost structure. But if you're using your own API code, 4.5 is probably going to be worth it. Better language, less detectable, um, better source of information. And so the other day I was working on a website. I'm going to share that website with you right now. And I had something I wanted to accomplish. Let me just share a page and make sure I share it. Yeah. Okay, this is where we're at, right? Make sure. Right. Okay, this is at McReasoft.com. And this is a blog post I had. And what I want to do is drive all links to social posts. This website gets thousands of visitors a day. So it's a source of good traffic, right? And they use it for generating money. I mean, I get AdSense money off of it. Those ads that pop up are, like this, putting money in my pocket every single day. I mean, I could literally go to bed and wake up 6 months later, and I would have made thousands, tens of thousands, $100,000 just by sleeping. That's what massive passive is all about. Build up these sites, let them generate traffic, build them up, get them syndicated, and then they can go on and make passive income for you. Well, I'm also trying to promote my AI social poster app, which I've shared with you several times. So what I wanted to do is come up with a way to randomly put up to 5 different messages on a blog, on every post on a blog. Right here. You see this little box right here? Okay, let me tell you how I used to do that. I used to get my CTO on the phone, my Chief Technology Officer. He's really busy trying to make things work because we decided as a company a year ago that we're going to go to cloud-based applications. His idea, not mine, but now I know why. And I finally said, so you wanted to do cloud-based because of this? He goes, yes, you're right. But look at the great things we're doing. I said, yeah, okay, that's cool. I was just curious. I would normally go to him and say, I want to put this box underneath the title of a post, but above the post, and I want to highlight it in a big square and make it stand out. Let me just show you a different post. Okay, let's go to a different post. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. So there's 5 different phrases I've come up with designed to get people to go over to AI Social Poster. So if I click on this, it goes to AI Social Poster, okay? Let me come back there. So make sure we're in the right spot. Good. So that's all this does. It's not a complicated piece of software. It's a one page. It doesn't call any other programs. It's got this little program that goes, take these 5 lines of text like this and link them to these 5 different links, or in my case, all the same link. So if you can go back and look at every post that we have on this blog, you will see the exact same box with one of 5 different statements, all going off to this page. Okay. If you come to this blog, okay, so I'm thinking to myself, well, I have a blog here. And you would think people would just, well, I'm at this site, but I put the same thing. They click there, they're going, oh, what a great idea. Goes right to the sales letter. So what we're doing here is we're basically taking 2 different sites, one that's got a lot of traffic. Here, Microsoft, and one that's getting traffic. AI Social Poster gets quite a bit of traffic for a newer website. And we're making sure that all these links point to where I'm selling the product on every blog post. So what you're going to get now is each one of these blogs is strategically placed on a separate IP. I did that on purpose. I create my own blog farm. They're all pointing links to this page here. Pointing links to that page.
Are you struggling to keep up with your social media presence on multiple?
So what it's going to do is, in time, if you go to search.google master, okay, if you go to search master tools, go ahead, show now. This is looking at AI social poster, not a ton of clicks coming through, getting a lot of content indexed. That's always what you're after. But if we come down here to links, you'll see there's a lot of links pointing to this page here, and a lot of them are internal links. And internal links, everyone's pointing to AI social poster, AI social poster right here. So you always want to have not only the external links from outside websites like Pinterest and Trustpilot and anywhere you can get it, you absolutely want to make sure you have internal links, which would be all these links pointing to your money page as well. So that you get the best search engine results from Google. And here you are. I'm driving hundreds of visits every single day to McRea, thousands. A certain percentage of them are going to click, and as a result of that, we're going to get an increased amount of social media traffic. Okay, so it's very, very instrumental and important. So that's one of the new things that's coming along. Is I was able to program that link there. What I would normally do is I'd get my CTO on the phone, or usually a Zoom call with a whiteboard, and we'd flow chart out what we wanted to do. And it's a difficult conversation, and they would go out and do it, and it would be wrong, and I'd have to correct it. And that's just kind of the way things tended to go. Here is my iPad. I have a Chat GPT icon in there, and since this has got the M4 chip on it, I can talk to GPT just like, hey, Chat GPT. So I talked to Chat GPT, and I told it what I wanted. It asked me some questions. I said yes. It said, okay, just a minute. It came back. It delivered me the code. And I said, well, put it in a zip file so I can install it. And it did. I uploaded it, installed it, and the damn thing works. So what would normally have cost me several $100s, maybe $1,000 to get my programmer to do, I did it for free talking to my iPad. Now you know why he talked me into going onto the cloud. Because the cloud is definitely a little bit more of a complex format to develop applications in. And yes, it's absolutely the way to go. And he's right. And I'm glad we're doing it because that's what AI content posters are. I'm sorry, AI social poster is all about. Now, by the way, since you're here, AI social poster is now live on Product Hunt. If you wouldn't mind going to my page and uploading us, will help us get eyes on the page and help us get some free trials. I'm going to probably start doing some pay-per-click advertising soon, but I'm working on how to do that in a way that is the most effective. Everyone has answers. I don't believe everyone's answers. I'm a very skeptical of advice. I have to look, see, touch, and feel things out for myself. So that programming of a plugin, not a complex plugin. Now, I know there's applications out there that will allow you to make complex applications, but I was able to sit here and talk to my iPad and get a plugin that did that. I decided to try a couple other ideas. I also wanted to put I have a plugin that will create posts and put a banner at the bottom of the post. But this is a manual post that I created, and I didn't want to, so I want to be able to do is put a banner at the bottom of every post. And so I created a program to do that. And I'm going to just show you these programs so you can see for yourself. Okay. One is called Random Link. Okay, the big one's banner ad. I just said I want this on every I want this on this link, this image, which I just selected off of my media library, put on every and I want this, and it's on every post. So that post, how that whole thing works. Random link box creates that link in there, and it's such a simple. Now I could have gone through and spent a couple hours and made it more a prettier user interface. I just want that URL with this link text. I could put 5 different ones in there. I could make it look prettier, but this is just an internal use thing, so I don't need to dress it up and make it look all nice. Let's say like some of our other programs. Okay, so I don't really worry about it. But here, this was fixing. Normally, it'd take me 2 to 3 weeks and $200 to $300 to get my programmer to do it. I could talk to ChatGPT and get it done. Now, you may have a better way of doing it. I don't care. I'll be honest with you. I just pulled it up and did it. I didn't have to learn anything new. Okay. And they get that to create more complicated applications, you needed better tools than ChatGPT, and they're definitely there. But I'm into speed, functionality, and making it work when I want it to work. I'm not into learning a bunch of new things for no reason. I want to drive traffic from this site.
Are you struggling to keep up with?
In this case, I want to drive it from my own blog to my sales letter, because blogs get traffic. you know. And I want every guy that's reading this to know that they can get a free account, claim your free trial. What's this for? Boom, click. So the result is 143 free trials in the last 2 days. It works. How many of those free trials turn into paid subscribers? We'll work the numbers out. That's the whole idea. I'm going to work the numbers out, and when I know that out of 100 free trials, I get 15 paid subscribers, I'll know my dollars and cents. Then I'll know how much I can spend doing pay-per-click advertising. And I would suspect pay-per-click advertising to be the most effective way to promote this, but I'm trying to get numbers for it. Okay, so I am email marketing this. People coming into my funnel, they find my funnel one way or another, they end up, boom, right here. Okay. So it's very cool that I could talk to my iPad right here. Hello, Mr. iPad. I want to do this. Oh, here you go. I don't necessarily want all this other stuff. Like, I want something to do a job. I am very task oriented. I don't think in terms of conquering the world in any way. I just want to take care of the problems. I've made millions of dollars doing one thing at a time. Massive Passive Profits, the original version, back in 2010, has made me about $30 million. That's what one idea done all the way does for you. So I focus on one thing at a time, try to get it done and implement, try to make it work. Doesn't always work. Traffic funnel, created that, 2000, 2019, 2020, I built, we got it. It did what it was supposed to do, but the industry was doing this and I could never get it off the ground. I just said $100,000 down the drain. The easy text marketing, or what do I call it? Text hooking, 100 grand out the door there. It's so much nicer now to be able to write a little program for free. And then I have my programmer who's now my CTO because he wants the title. And I'm like, fine with me. Developing cloud applications, which pretty much don't apply to anybody that's going to be watching one of these live streams. We're finding clients and he's developing applications for them. And cloud computing is not simple. AI is not simple. So let's talk about what's going on in other parts of AI, things you're not even necessarily paying attention to. I talked a little bit about Grok 3 the other day. Grok 3 is Elon Musk. It's his AI. And it's got two different components. I'll pull it up for you. I gotta get it in my. Okay, let me make sure my screen is showing that. Grok 3 is X AI. And it is Elon Musk AI. So the process of training an AI is really the complication, and they've figured it out. Okay, and then I can hire a guy who figured it out for OpenAI and create Grok, and he can go to work for another guy after me. And it's basically the same sort of technology. And it's got one that's called Deep Search and then Think. I'm not entirely Deep Search is more like a research sort of thing. And if you're doing some intense investigation, let's just do one right now. Robotics being implemented into let's change that to humanoid into the average person's life to clean house, mow lawns, etc. How long until this is feasible? I hate my keyboard on my Mac, so I'm going to tell it to do deep search on this and click. So, doing a deep search. And I bring up, how do you like that? I bring up robotics for a reason. You have AI, okay, it's like talking to another human being. You know, you can ask for help. And on ChatGPT, there's a voice version, right? And it comes up and says, may I help you with something? You can talk to it. You know, and it works really well. You can even stop in the middle of a sentence and rephrase it, and it will know what you mean. And honestly, it can help you with therapy. So let's say you need to talk to something about stuff you're afraid to talk to other people about. You can talk to ChatGPT and really begin getting a great understanding of yourself. Let's say you have an addictive behavior. Okay, so here it's look at all this stuff it's done. So when I was in college, I would have killed. This is probably a college level thesis. Or at least, a great report. Okay, research suggests general purpose household robots may become feasible in the average person in about 8 years, around 2033. It seems likely that advancements in AI and robotics will drive this timeline, but controversy exists over the pace of development and affordability. The evidence leans toward robots handling 30% of household chores by 2030, 39% 2033, including tasks like cleaning lawn lawns. Though not all will be a humanoid. And I'm looking for a robot with two hands on the lawnmower pushing it. Like I was talking to my wife about this. She says she's not ready for Rosie the robot to cook dinner. I don't care. What I would like to have a robot for in my house is to clean up after my dog, clean up my phone. I mean, maintain the yard so I don't have to. Clean up the house after the dog drags mug in. Prepare my dinner. Make beds and clean the house. Yeah. So is this going to be affordable? Well, let's say we spend $100 every I'm sorry, $200. Let me put on. We spend $400 a month on housekeeper. It comes in 3 times a week, 3 times a month. And let's make it $600. $200 with time. 150 to, yeah, no, it's $150 per time. So it comes in 4 times. $600 a month. So that's $7,000 a year to have a housekeeper come in. Say a robot costs 30 grand. Five years it's paid for. So it's very reasonable to expect that. Now, most people can't afford $450 a month for a housekeeper. I understood. And I completely get that. But let's kind of go through these results and see what they say here. Just the highlights. Here, key point. Based on current research and market details, it seems likely that the general purpose household robot capable of, where do I read that? Current development companies like Tesla are working on robots like Optimus, expected to be in low production for internal use by next year and available for sale for companies by 2026. However, for the average person, affordability and widespread adoption may take longer and possibly into the early 2030s. The unexpected factor is the initial high cost. With projections suggesting prices between $20,000 and $30,000, which may decrease over time, but could be a barrier for people. So a lot of people ain't going to have $20,000 to $30,000 to spend. Wealthier people will. This means it may take some additional years to make that cost more affordable to the average household. The analysis delves into the feasibility of integrated general-purpose humanoid robots into the average person's life for tasks such as cleaning house, mowing lawns, etc., based on current research, marketing trends, and expert predictions. The focus is on what and when such technologies will be practical. Expert predictions. So it's written like a college paper, right? Let's come down here. Short term, 1 to 5 years. By 2030, robots like Tesla's Optimus will become available for purchase initially for companies and early adopters. So, okay, you work at a company that's making cars. That robotic person could replace you. Well, robotics are already doing that right now. It could become more. It could be like handmade. I'm a guitar collector. Maybe handmade guitars. Um, handmade, maybe robot made. Okay. By the year 2035, there's the thought that robots in home will be quite common to the average person. They'll be able to do much of the maintenance and caretaking of the home. Maybe even to the point of caretaking small children. I don't know about that. I have my doubts. Here's the market size. How many will be sold? Okay. This is estimates. Humanoid robot market size by in 2028, 3 years from now. The business will be $24.5 billion. It's pretty big. Okay. By 2033, the industry will be worth about $65 billion. By 2035, it'll be 81, almost $82 billion for robots. That's huge. So it's going to become a huge growth opportunity for whatever company gets involved in it. That's probably why you're seeing Tesla do it. Research suggests that the general purpose household robots are likely to become feasible for the average person in about 8 years, okay, 2033, based on the predictions and market trends. That would be based on people's income going up and robotic costs coming down to where they hit that point. 39% automation of households by 2033 will include humanoid robots, which is projected to cost between $20,000 and $30,000 each, like a car. And one of the biggest industries that are going to come out of this is robotic repair guys. So you got a guy who's building cars, loses his job. Now he's building bots, or he's repairing them. So we are looking at the beginning of by 2035. Let's see, what will the size of that? $20.50. Okay, so ask what will the humanoid robot market be by 2050? $20.50 is 17 years. So I'll be 80 years old. uh, $335 billion. Okay. So what is the current sales of Tesla? That's a difficult question. Just after. Okay. Current sales of Tesla in 2024 is about $25 billion. So the robotics industry by 2050 is going to be way bigger than Tesla. Okay. When will self-driving cars replace normal cars? So earlier last fall, I was driving my Ford Taurus down the road, real nice and slow. Somebody came out and they T-boned me, 360, destroyed my car. Not my fault, completely innocent. So I bought a new car. I had no idea what I wanted, but my wife wanted me to get a SUV, and I hate SUVs, but I said, all right, let's look. And I really liked Ford Edge because I liked Ford cars, blah, blah, blah. So ultimately, what I decided was to buy a Hyundai Tucson, and really liked the drive. I went and drove it, drove better than the Ford Edge, and it looked nice. It was a sleek looking car. So I bought it. $27,000, 27,000 miles on it. So it wasn't that expensive. And started driving it. It's a nice car to drive. It's got driver's assistant on it. So I'm like, well, what does this thing do? Okay, so basically, um, you get out in the traffic, you you set your speed on, and it's tracking the vehicles behind you, in front of you, and you can set it for 70 miles an hour. If the car in front of you is going 10, you're going to be going 10. If he's going 100, you're going to be going 70. Does that make sense? So it does that really good. So you get it there, set the speed, and it'll keep you at a good speed. It's also got cameras on both sides of the vehicle that are looking at the little white lines going by you. And this really took a long time to run, didn't it? And what it does is that kind of keeps you in the little white lines. Not entirely sure what it does if there's no white lines there. So I have tested it, and in traffic, I've just set everything up, got a comfortable speed, got in a comfortable zone in traffic, but not bad traffic. Just took my hands off the wheel and let it drive itself around corners, and it did a perfect job. I was there, I could grab it. It did a perfect. It's not self-driving, but it certainly drove a long way without me paying attention. Would I take off and not have my eyes? And no, trust me, I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, let's see what we got here. It is suggested that self-driving cars will most likely become the majority on the road by 2055. Well, I don't plan on being alive come then, which is kind of good. I mean, I like the being able to hit the autopilot thing and maybe look at my phone for something, or turn around, chat to somebody. But when I'm behind the wheel, I really want to be paying attention to what's going on. So even when I have that thing employed, trust me, my hands are on the wheel. Matter of fact, if you take both your hands off the wheel, in about 2 minutes, it comes back and says, "Put your hands on the wheel." And I want you to have your hands on the wheel. But it's really cool to be able to drive down the road, and just you're going with traffic, never too fast, never too slow. It's supposed to slow you down to a stop and all that stuff. I'm not going to test it. I do like it though. Self-driving cars. I mean, the idea that you need a ride and you pull up what's called Waymo, and it's being tested in Miami right now. You can pull up Waymo. I need a car. It will pick up, take to your place. No driver. I think you're going to see that probably in the next 5 years. As far as self-driving cars being the norm, I think it'll be 2055. So we'll have to check that up in a few weeks and decide what's going on. So I'm going to just call that at the end of the story. So the moral of today's story is Paxlovid is a great cure for COVID. If you get COVID, if you get any sort of flu, go see the doctor as soon as you can. It's not worth putting it off. Doctor said if you waited 3 or 4 more days, you'd probably be in the hospital because you don't realize how sick you are, and I really don't. Because like all men, and trust me, I got my blanket right here. I am too prideful to admit when I don't feel well. Um, I had canceled. I teach guitar. It's one of my things. I canceled all my lessons for the remainder of the week, and I canceled appearing on stage over the weekend so I can get better, and I'm going to feel good. I'm about 75% there already. I'm going to feel really good, pretty good in a day or two. I'm going to be wondering what's the big deal. So there are great cures for COVID, but don't shortchange yourself. Take that all the way to the end. Um, if you need a really quick plug-in, you don't need to go buy it. You don't need to go search for it. You can literally talk to ChatGPT. And yeah, my buddy's going to tell me, oh, it's a better program. You guys are not don't need to be a geek. I need the problem solved. I need it now. I need to be able to do this in my blog. Blurt, done. Well, you saw that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set up a little center where I'm going to give people free plugins. And every little free plugin I create, I'm going to go download it, no charge, no list membership, nothing. Just go download it. And they're going to be things that I just go, oh, I want this. How I got into this business in the first place, way back in 2008, I was building blogs for somebody. And somebody wanted me to build a blog on a subdomain. That time you had to go create a subdomain, then you had to go into, you had to install the WordPress manually upload it. And you had to change the PHP code in WordPress.php. And then you could create a subdomain. But you had to create the subdomain first. So then we created this thing called a wildcard subdomain, which is now ubiquitous on all hosting accounts. But we spend time managing that for people. And then we came out with Massive Passive Profits. It's the first one. Basically, to create us a blog on a subdomain driving traffic based on one keyword. And at that time, there was no ChatGPT, there was no auto content, so we had to post articles from blogs. And we would go out, search the blogs, and find the appropriate article. And that worked great. Boy, it worked great. And then Google said, I don't like this. I don't blame Google. Okay. Next week, I'm going to have my partner come and talk about velocity impact. Name is Rick Hawley. I've talked to him before. There's so much going on. Rick's really on the game, and I'm not. But I don't want to be all this stuff. I want to be focused on what works. So he's the man that's out doing all this other stuff. I'll let him share that with you guys. Okay, that's the end this week. We'll see you next week.